All right, it's December 31st, 2014. I'm making this video on why I think Bitcoin is an extremely good investment. If not the best investment in the world, one of the best investments in the world. This video isn't financial advice, it's just what I think. I encourage you to definitely learn about the technology. It's changing the world, so it's definitely worth learning about. It's one of the most revolutionary technologies of the day. So that being said, I'm going to discuss some of the reasons why I think it's a really good investment. I'm going to try to keep this video really short and to the point. So some of the obvious things I see, one of the things is the usage is increasing more and more every day. You can see that on different charts with the transaction volume. I'll link to one of them below. But you can see more usage in it. You can see more venture capital money flowing to it. This year in 2014, we had about $300 million pour into it. Last year was about $100 million. The year before that, it was less than $10 million. So more and more money is pouring into it. They're building more applications around it. People are starting to understand the potential of the technology. You're also seeing it used in different ways too. One thing that stands out to me is if you've been on Twitch TV, twitch.tv, it's a really cool website. You can go on, see people streaming stuff. It's a cool site. I go on it sometimes. I enjoy it. But people tip each other. Right now, most people are using PayPal. PayPal charges about 30 cents per tip, but most people only tip about $1 or $2. So they're taking a nice chunk of people's money for tips. With Bitcoin tipping and other currencies, Dogecoin's actually led the way in the tipping culture, but there's no fees. And this will become the expectation sooner or later, so that people don't have to pay fees. So that's another place where we're going to see a lot of growth. Also in developing countries. Some developing countries don't have credit cards like Visa and MasterCard everywhere because they haven't been implemented. It costs those companies money to implement, and if they can't get a good return, there's no reason for them to do that, understandably. But Bitcoin can be implemented. There's no fee the merchant has to pay, but it just increases their options of accepting pay. Also can function as a form of banking for them, where traditionally banking there has been expensive. You don't want to keep the money under your mattress per se, so to go to a bank, it's quite expensive. But now with Bitcoin, the banking is essentially free. So really powerful there too. Let's see. More companies are accepting it. Obviously, I saw this coming when Overstock started accepting it. Overstock's about a $200 million company. At that point, I saw that a lot more companies are going to be accepting it. This was close to the beginning of the year. Since then, a bunch of different companies have come on. Dell came on some months ago. That was really cool to see. Dell's about a $20 billion company. And then Microsoft just started accepting it around the past month or so. That's really powerful. And we're just going to see more companies doing that. So obviously the demand for it, the usage for it is increasing. So that's really cool. Also, one really cool thing, there's a lot of different currencies that are like Bitcoin. There's hundreds of them that basically do the same thing or emulate it. One of them is Ripple. I don't actually like this currency, Ripple, because it works off a centralized ledger. And I guess to explain that really briefly, Bitcoin's core technology is a decentralized ledger. Everyone can see every transaction that's ever occurred on it, which is what gives us all its power. Ripple does that, but it has a centralized ledger, so they keep that ledger inside. I don't like that because the lesson of Napster was the reason why Napster got shut down, which was, the old music sharing site, was because it had a centralized server which you can target and shut down. So Ripple has the same kind of thing that you can target and shut down. I don't really like that. I like Bitcoin and the decentralized ones because they're decentralized and you can't shut them down. But one thing that Ripple, is doing well is their marketing to banks, and they're getting banks on board, big banks, to use them for a money transfer service, because the money transfer is obviously a lot more effective this way than going the traditional routes. Traditionally, sending money bank to bank is painfully long and kind of costly, as you probably know if you ever sent money to someone overseas or ever had family sending you money overseas or whatnot. It can take a day or more. So it doesn't need to take that long. It should just take minutes, which is what this technology is doing. So there's some core reasons, the fundamentals of why it's increasing in usage. There's just so many applications for it. It's obvious to me I will point out the price is down right now. It peaked at around a little over $1,200 last year when it peaked around November. Right now it's around $300 for Bitcoin. So the price is down a lot, but it doesn't matter because the use is increasing. Sooner or later, the demand is going to increase beyond the supply of it, and it's going to cause the price to go up and probably go into its next bubble. So I can see that happening quite easily. It's pretty obvious to me. The price is going to go up significantly. That's why, again, it's just an obvious investment, and it's a really high potent investment. I mean, since it came out until now, it's gone up a lot. And there's still a lot of room for growth, triple-digit growth. So that being said, I will say that Bitcoin is not my favorite investment in this realm. Bitcoin's great, but my favorite is actually Dogecoin. Dogecoin is a currency just like Bitcoin, very similar. The main difference in it is its community. And that's one important concept to think about. In the future, we'll probably use currencies that we support. Until now, we just kind of use whatever currency, right? Like, for instance, dollars or whatever. We just use that. But now we have a choice of what currency we want to use and what currency we want to support. It's also, Dogecoin is actually, in my eyes, also a better investment. And I'll explain that really briefly. So Bitcoin and Dogecoin's community is about 1/4 the size of Bitcoin. So not a huge difference. It's not way smaller than Bitcoin's. It's a pretty large community. But the market cap is in the valuation of all the coins of Dogecoin is about 1/200th the size of Bitcoin. So there's a lot more room for upside the next time money is pouring into these cryptocurrencies. There's a lot more room for upside. I prefer that, and not to mention, again, the community is phenomenal. I spend time on their forums. It's actually one of the nicest communities I've ever seen in my life, and I 100% support it. I encourage you to check them out too. They're very, very cool, and I'm confident they'll outperform Bitcoin in the next level, obviously. So again, I just wanted to make this video. I think it's a phenomenal time to buy. I don't know how much longer it's going to go down for. It's really hard to say. It's really hard to say when it will go up into its next bubble. It's difficult to say, but what is obvious to me is sooner or later it is going to go up. So I just wanted to make this video again. Awesome investment, awesome technology. Yeah, I encourage you guys to check it out. And the technology is growing and developing. There's a lot more cool things coming, like decentralized stock exchanges and that kind of stuff. But I definitely encourage you to learn about the technology. Yeah, you'll do yourself a big favor. If you like the video, make sure to like it and subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. I'll have more videos like this. I appreciate the support. Share it with your friends if you feel like they'd benefit from it. Yeah, I wish you guys the best. I'll see you on the next one.